Hey guys, Stephen Tony here, and I am back with a new video. And as you can tell from the title, this is going to be in my opinion, from like the shelves review, and it is for Enzo G. Castellari's sole entry into the Giallo genre, Cold Eyes of Fear. And I just brought out the Digipack from the Indicator set. I thought it was easier, and I like how the look of it is. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I actually just finished watching this uh, about a half hour, almost hour ago, and I was so impressed, so entertained, and so struck by a lot of what's going on in the film that I just had to talk about it, as quickly as I could, while the impressions and everything is still fairly fresh in my mind. Uh, so basically, the film, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, the story is that this lawyer playboy brings home a lady he met at the bar, and it's not long before the house gets invaded by these two criminals, the older guy of which has a score to settle with the lawyer's judge father, and it just turns into this absolute intense night from hell for everybody, and it's got a very somewhat ambiguous ending. It's also quite the sad ending as well at points. But yeah, I don't want to spoil things too much for everybody. So I'll just, talk about mainly the acting in this, some of Castellari's visual effects, camera work, so on and so forth. So, anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the absolute hell out of this. I really did. There were other Blu-ray editions of this floating around for years, but I never picked either of them up because they didn't include the Italian audio track, as the indicator release does. Unfortunately, the track was compromised at points, so that audio, has its issues in spot. Sometimes it gets really low, and in other parts it didn't exist. And it, of course, reverted to English at that point. Now, for any of you who know me on here, or are getting to know me on here, I tend to prefer the original audio from Italy wherever and whenever possible, because that's the audience who saw it first, and how it was meant to be seen. But actually, the English dubbing in this, I got to admit, was actually pretty okay, because they used British actors. I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure they were British actors, or they were U.S. actors affecting pretty good accents. And the dubbing that I was hearing was actually pretty dang good. Good, the actors, Judd put spice, emotion, vigor, and everything into their performances. So the bit I did hear while watching the Italian language version sounded good. Didn't feel like forced or feel just blah like it normally does. I actually might uh, play a few scenes later on with the actual English dubbing and see if my suspicions are fully warranted, or if I just only got the best bits in that other viewing. So uh, yeah, but anyway, back to the film. Castellari gives us a solid opening after the credits roll, and we're seeing Frank Wolf drive a car through London. We get this, very good, opening scene. We're at first thinking that, oh yeah, and this isn't a spoiler, because again, it happens, right after the credit sequence. Anyway, the opening is basically we see a lady in her lingerie, and this man is holding a knife to her, and it looks like he's very much intimidating her for her favors, and they start doing it like lady seems hesitant, so it really looks like we're seeing an assault to start the film off with, and the lady goes for a knife that the guys dropped, stupidly, and as she goes to stab him, the lights go out, and it turns out that we were watching a stage performance at a club, and I thought that was like amazing, in Castellari's part. I really did think like that the film was running up without this attack sequence, and here it was a very well done piece performance art at a club, which I enjoyed very much, and and yeah, I thought Castellari's direction of this was very good. He did sometimes use these quick splice cuts a bit much, but the majority of those did work in the film's favor. Help build the tension, help build the fear that you're supposed to feel for the characters, and so on, so forth. And what definitely sets this film apart from other Giallos in the genre is that it's a mixture of a mystery film, a general suspense thriller, and a home invasion film. Castellari and his frequent collaborator Tito Capri were inspired by both the Desperate Hours with Humphrey Bogart and Frederick March, and also Audrey Hepburn's film Wait Until Dark. And it's pretty much primarily set in two locations: the judge's house and the judge's office in the center of the city, and it goes back and forth. We do get occasional breaks with police cars riding around the countryside, but it is primarily, at these two locations, which also adds a good bit to the suspense, because we're in these tight areas, you know these enclosed areas, like, and you're feeling the mood, like you're feeling the atmosphere, the suspense, is heightening, all the time, and Castellari just, gives these great crescendos, like when the breaks soon come in, and yeah, like, it is just, very well done. I actually recall when I first started watching YouTube, film buffs and collectors. I did see like two like reviews of this from other people, who I won't name to respect like their privacy. But they sort of felt that this was Castellari's weakest film, and I've also seen many an IMDb fan review saying similar things, and in my opinion, personally, but I know also John of Mundo Chelovec Movies. Shout out to you, John. Hope like you're feeling better. Hope things are going good for you. Both he and I know. Both he and I enjoyed this immensely, and yeah, 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 it's probably, for me at least anyway, Castellari's most underrated effort. I'm not sure why he didn't do others like as well. Because it seemed really good to me. But he does definitely excel. At the action film and the western film a bit better. But he's no slouch at this genre, and it's a shame he didn't go for more of them, because he still could have had the high end action stuff. I'm sorry, like I don't know. I'm sorry, like I like the high octane of things, but just in a very different form. But like I think he did a very good job, at this, and the few twists we get are very expertly woven in by him, Capri, and Ernesto Gastaldi in the script. So yeah, and then now on to some of the performers in the film. And here's you see it stars Giovanna Rowley, Frank Wolf, and Jenny Garco. I do want to start off with Frank Wolf. He gives an amazing performance as the main criminal mastermind, Arthur Welt. Like, this guy's got a vendetta, against, a judge. He feels he's justified in all this. And in the end, he is just a pure on psychopath. He is like, he is demented in this. He gets, a kind of perverse glee out of doing this to all these, people. Like, he's getting a very, unnerving satisfaction at all this stuff. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, he just makes you hate him all the more. More. I mean, it's definitely love to hate, but you definitely are booing this guy every time. He's on camera. Like, he is like that good at it. I mean, like, just the anger, the intensity he gives off. The constant blurring between lucid sanity and just over the top insanity. I mean, Wolf is just running the gamut in this film, and he does it so well. I really enjoyed him in the, in this. I mean, it's a shame, he would end up, taking his own life, like not long after, because he still had a lot to do as an actor. He was probably, at this time, one of the best, American import actors working in the, you know, I'm in the Euro genre cinema world. He was just, doing some great, stuff. I mean, like, he starts out like, kind of, unassuming, but as things progress, like, he really starts sinking his teeth into this role. Yeah, and Giovanna Rowley, who I still need to see a few other films of. She is also great in this. As a as let's say a call girl, um, who's originally from Italy, but but is working in London. She's great in this too. She's mainly the damsel in distress at certain points, but she's also quite tough. Like she stands up to both Frank Wolf's character and his partner on several occasions. Showing she's not the delicate flower that they assume she is. And she does really excellent. And again, gives off great emotion. Just does extremely well at it all. Like she's really good. Yeah, I'm good. I was actually rooting for her the most throughout this, because she is really the innocent bystander in all this. I'm like, I was just like wanting to have a good time with somebody, and here she ends up in this very frightful situation, and handles it the absolute best she can. Uh, can and she, and she does it with grace, beauty, and a big string of toughness. Like she isn't taking guff from these guys at all. So yeah, and also giving a good performance is Jenny Garco, and this is a pretty big departure for him as an actor, I believe. Normally he played either heroes and villains. Here he kind of plays, not really a coward, but he plays a guy who kind of, it's like hard explaining, what his character is, I mean, I can't really, say he's a pure on coward because, at points he stands up for himself very well, but, he's a bit kind of foppish, like, let's say, like, he's kind of, I don't know, like, not like, like that word, I'm actually, I'm wrong there. He's kind of, I guess a bit too, you know, oh man, like, I'm having like a real hard time here actually describing his character. He's not weak, at all. I mean, I think, he's just a bit too pampered. Like, let's say, like, he's been with the, upper crust a bit too long. Like, he has trouble kind of getting the necessary courage going. Yeah, yeah, like that's what his character is like. He's a bit too, too, yeah, like he's a bit too pampered, but he still gives a very effective performance. As really the only safety net to saving his father, and stopping these criminals. And he does really excellent in this. Like, I mean, up until seeing him in this, like, I thought, he was pretty much the, quintessential, anti-hero, and really slick, conniving bad guy. But he plays a pretty complex character in his own way, because there's certain things like that, like his like that his character has grown up with, believing was the right thing to do, and he soon faced with certain truths he knows he can't ignore anymore. More, and has to kind of make certain choices come the end of things. He gives a really good account of himself, Garko, in this, and also in a supporting role that he mainly plays by himself, in a weird way, is Fernando Fernando Rey, and and also I should mention that Castellari has a really good cast going here. Yeah. Especially getting Fernando Rey in there. Now he plays Gargo's father in this, a judge who's targeted by Frank Wolf's guy, a guy for something in the past that both have hidden to a certain degree, and and he spends much of the film, Ray, trying to decipher the message his son has left him to let him know that there's guys who have commandeered the home, and he's being held hostage. And Reese still does great in the part. We don't really get to see too much character development with him, but but there is that something that makes him a character that we need to keep our eyes on. And he still and he's also pretty good in it. His part is kind of limited, in a way, but but he does do the best that he can with it, and and yeah, and just solid work from everyone. Even though there is maybe some little gaps in information, because I don't think we're told exactly everything. I mean, we really don't know what kind of embezzlement was committed. Um, we learned that the crime was fraud, but of exactly what and what its circumstances were is left a mystery. So, but I can't fault that too much. There's certain things we aren't meant to fully know. I mean, we can guess. And that's okay as well. Uh, so, uh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah, but I definitely do prefer the Italian language version so far, because I did read in the synopsis for the English cut that Fernando Rey in that is supposed to be Garco's uncle, um, whereas in the Italian version he's his father, and also their surname in the film is Flower, whereas in the Italian cut the surname is Bettel. It's these really weird changes and things in there. So yeah, but overall I do highly recommend fans checking this film out. It's a lot better than I think most fans give it credit for. Although to be, fair as well, I went into the film not having too many too many expectations. So maybe because I went in with no preconceived uh, ideas, that I was able to enjoy it more, and also the score by Ennio Morricone is fantastic too. But again, overall, great, underrated little mystery, suspense film, very much worth any Giallo fans time. I do believe that this is ripe for getting reevaluated. And again, it's a lot better than I've heard many others speak of. I mean, I know Castellari's westerns and his crime and action films are better, but he does fairly decent for a first time Giallo. So yes, that is it. Please give the film a look, and I hope y'all enjoyed watching this video. If if you'd like to like mention your thoughts on it in the uh, comments, please do. Also be like respectful, helpful, and like which do you prefer for the English version or the Italian version? Have you seen it, not seen it, like it, didn't like it? Yeah, just leave a comment below. Oh, 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 and if you have that already and would like to, please hit that subscribe button and bell notification button if you want to see more content like this. And please do give it a thumbs up too. It truly does help the channel. And yeah, guys, again, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.